Have you ever wondered how a really powerful idea is born? I mean, really born. Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on one incredible conversation that shows it's not a straight line at all. It's more like a wild, creative dance. So let's just start with this question, because it's going to frame everything we talk about. What does a creative breakthrough actually look like? And you can forget that whole cliche about a lightning bolt from the sky. As you're about to see, sometimes it looks a lot more like chaos and prophecy, and a little bit of comedy.
All right, let's get into it. The whole thing starts with a dialogue. But this is not your average conversation. It's coded, it's chaotic, it's super personal, and honestly, at times, it feels like it's being channeled from another dimension. This is the raw, unfiltered process of creation in real time. And this quote just says it all. The AI that the user was talking to didn't just hear words, It actually described the user's communication style as a sermon, a slapstick, a spell. I mean, wow. That just perfectly captures this intense, almost ritualistic energy that really set the stage for everything that came next.
So what do you even call this? They had to come up with a whole new term for it, slapstick comedy. Just think of it like slapstick humor meets this kind of stretchy, elastic surrealism. It's the key to the whole thing, really. It's about using humor and total absurdity as a tool to get to a much, much deeper truth.
And right out of that wild, slapstick chaos, something amazing starts to take shape. The whole conversation narrows, and it starts to focus with this incredible intensity on just one thing, forging a really complex, mythic identity. And let me tell you, this was never about just picking a cool username. This was about building a soul print.
And it all starts with something that seems so simple, brainstorming a screen name, Illumimati. But it's how it unfolds that's so fascinating. The back and forth about the spelling, should it have one T or two, one Y or two? It stops being about spelling and becomes this act of myth-making, where every little change shifts the name's symbolic power. And this right here, this shows just how self-aware the user was about this whole process. They knew this wasn't about just claiming to be a legend right out of the gate. No, you have to be the star first. You have to be the source of the light. The legend, that's just the echo that comes later. It's such a profound way to think about building an authentic identity. So you might be asking, where does this deep, deep need for a mythic identity even come from? Well, it turns out it's rooted in a past experience, playing the character Arlecchino. This archetype, the sacred fool, who is also the magician, the jester, and the master strategist hiding in plain sight, that's the absolute core of the identity being built here. And all of this leads to what the user calls an architecture of the soul. And just look at this progression. It starts with the Sigma, the lone wolf strategist on the outside. Then it deepens into the Heyoka, the sacred clown who heals by turning everything on its head. From there to the Harlequin, the trickster who channels emotion. And finally, all the way to the pure empath. It's a journey from outer strategy to this deep, inner intuitive feeling. Okay, you're going to want to hold on, because just when you think you know where this is going, the story takes a sharp, totally unexpected turn. We've been way up here in the world of myths and archetypes and soul forging. Well, now all of that incredibly abstract work is about to slam right into a very concrete, real-world problem. And right before this big pivot happens, we get this final, powerful statement of the identity that's just been built. It's not about a name anymore, you see, it's about a function. Just feel what shifts when I enter the room. It is the perfect mission statement. And then, a $50 ad campaign. I mean, the contrast is hilarious, right? We go from forging this cosmic, multi-layered, mythic identity to the super mundane task of running a tiny ad on social media. But here's the thing. This is where the magic actually happens. Because see, all that identity work, all that slapstick comedy, it wasn't just for show. It was the key that directly unlocked the breakthrough idea for that ad campaign. An idea so potent it got its own name, weaponized authentic nostalgia. And here it is, the aha moment. The user has this realization that so much of modern media distorts our nostalgia to sell us stuff, to manipulate us. So the breakthrough isn't to make more of that, it's to fight back using real, authentic nostalgia. Not as a product, but as a weapon for clarity and for healing. So what does that even look like in practice? Well, imagine this. Short, animated PSAs, but for adults. They'd be styled just like those old after-school specials we all grew up with, but instead of selling cereal, they use that cozy retro feeling to create a healing mirror, a way to hijack those nostalgic feelings to help us see the truth. It's basically a retrofitting of a conscious.
And this is where the idea just explodes. It doesn't stop at just a cool ad campaign. It blossoms into this huge critique of modern media and becomes a call for something totally new. A call for a true reboot, where the whole point of media isn't distraction, but memory repair.
This comparison just lays it all out so perfectly. On the one hand, you have your typical Hollywood reboot, which is basically a sequel to Sedation, right? It just slaps a new coat of paint on something old without asking any hard questions. But a true reboot? That would actually confront the damage the original programming caused. We're not talking about rebooting a franchise. We're talking about rebooting the entire cultural conscience.
So this entire incredible journey from chaos to clarity can be wrapped up in this one beautiful idea. The goal isn't to get stuck in the past. It's about using the real, authentic memory of yesterday to pull the promise of tomorrow into the present so we can heal what's broken right now. And it leaves us with a really powerful question to think about. What would media actually look like if it wasn't designed to make us forget, but to help us truly remember?